Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to G104 FM's coverage of the Hamlet Parade. It's December the 8th at 3:30, and what a beautiful day it is, Lee, and we're excited to be here again this year. We were just talking a couple years ago, you and I got to drive in this parade. We decorated up, I think, the Tahoe and put the signs on the side of it.
Put our Santa hats on and had a great time.
Last year, we were invited to come and broadcast. It's going to be filmed today. Our good buddy Mitch Hattinger is doing the filming today for the Hamlet Parade, and it will be shown on YouTube. I'm not exactly sure, but in the next couple of days anyway, you should be able to pull up the Hamlet Christmas Parade on YouTube, and festivities are getting started, Lee. We see the police car coming up the road, and we got all ideas that may be Hamlet Chief of Police Scott Waters, but we'll see as that gets a little bit closer to us. Also, there are some vendors around as you bring your kids out selling popcorn and stuff like that, and just come on out and be a part of this festive event.
And we'll try to bring you the best description we can, tell you what the floats are, and if we have a note, some of them have notes of exactly who the person in the car or the float is. And if we sound a little bit chilly, we are. It's about 45 degrees. And
we ain't picking.
And we're up on a little platform here, and the wind's blowing, and so our hearts will be warm with the Christmas cheer and the Christmas spirit, but our body's going to be a little bit chilly this afternoon, Mike.
Absolutely. But, Lee, what a festive time. You know, parades going on. I know at Thanksgiving, I sat on TV and I watched the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade and all the excitement, the balloons in the air. You get excited about stuff like that. And this today just kind of brings the kid back out in you a little bit. As you know, we tend to get a little bit older. Christmas doesn't seem to be the same as it was when we were kids, but coming to a parade, seeing all the floats and the bands and the ROTC and JROTC marching just kind of takes you back to that childhood, and what a wonderful time in our lives that it is.
Yeah, I was in Scouts and I was in marching bands, so I was in parades all the time.
Yeah.
Of course, they used to have them at night when it was like 30 degrees, so you had to have your long johns on.
Wow.
And you talk about hard to play. I played saxophone.
Wow.
If I played a saxophone 30 degrees outside, your lips get a little bit chapped.
I bet so.
But it was a great time. It was great to be in parades, and so it's great to be a child whether you're 8 or 88. Speaking of that, I think, I don't see him up here, but I think Earl Bradshaw was scheduled to be up here on the stage with us. If so, we may get a short interview with Mr. Earl, all of 100 and 2 years old now?
I think so. Yeah, they'll be coming up in the parade. I think Lee, him, and Ashton Locklear as well are going to be the grand marshals for today's events. And just sitting here chatting with Ashton's mother, and man, what an awesome year this young lady has had, and just to see her excel and represent Richmond County at the fullest of potentials, and for her to be honored today to be the grand marshal, I think it's awesome. An awesome tribute to Richmond County and to her for the things that she's been able to pull off.
Well, Mike, going by right now is Scott Waters, and I think that's Stevie with him, the Chief of Police of Hamlet. Sometimes he poses as our own Scott Michaels on G104.
That's exactly right.
And right behind him is the colorful JROTC color guard from Richmond Senior High.
Yep. It certainly is. A nice group of young men and women.
Gosh, it must be, what, 150, 200?
Absolutely. Good crowd of folks, and they're represented very well. Lee, when I first started at Richmond Senior High School, the JROTC was something very new in a high school program, but to see how it has developed over the years, these young men and women get a lot of training and a lot of, I say, foundation grounding, so to speak, and that training that they receive at school. So, man, like you say, there's probably at least 100 or so here in this group, and they do a very good job. And also, they represent at the football games. They'll come out and have 4 of the JROTC come out and present the colors at the national anthem for the football game. So, just a blessing to see them here this afternoon.
And they also help with parking and other things at football games. But what they do is they teach discipline, and they teach teamwork. And of course, some of the kids do go on to a career in the military, but it's one of those teams. We talk about football and other things being team building. This is character building and team building, something we need more and more in today's society.
Absolutely. And Lee, following them is going to be a group from the 82nd Airborne, and I think it's the 82nd Airborne Band. And what a privileged group that is. A very talented group, not only for the service that they do for our country, but also to go out and represent the airborne during the parades and stuff.
Yeah, one of the most fabled military units in United States history, and right here in our own backyard at Fort Bragg.
Absolutely. So we're going to stop and just listen to the music as they come by. Second Airborne stopped right in front of us. Sounds like we're going to get to hear a little bit of their music, Lee.
82nd Airborne.
Fort Bragg, North Carolina. Next is the Grand Marshal of today's parade, Miss Ashton Locklear, 18-year-old gymnast today, just living the time of her life right now, Lee. It's just good to see her today come by as well.
Richmond County's own Olympian, 2016 Olympian.
Next on the agenda is Hamlet Mayor Bill Bayless coming by.
And look at that coat Jonathan Bowie has on. I think it's some sort of red and green. It looks like it belongs on a mannequin, not a human being, to be honest with you. Jonathan has his Santa hat on. Bill looking much more distinguished in the back seat with his wife, Linda.
Absolutely. Next up is I think Miss North Carolina. I believe that's right. Katie Coble. No, am I wrong?
It's got Mackenzie Faggart.
Mackenzie Faggart. Miss North Carolina. Good to see her.
And a beautiful red convertible. What else would a beauty queen be in? That's
right. Absolutely. Absolutely. Next up for the parade today is our newly re-elected North Carolina State Senator, Mr. Tom McInnes, representing the state of North Carolina today. Good to see him here this afternoon.
And that is a well-lit Jeep right there.
It sure is.
And in it is Kid Goodman.
North Carolina House of Representatives, Kent Goodman.
Love those wheels on that Jeep, wow.
Absolutely, absolutely. Followed by the Richmond County Sheriff, Sheriff James Clemens. Merry Christmas, sir.
Merry Christmas, Sheriff.
Merry Christmas for the weather.
Have a good one. I tell you, Sheriff Clemens, always a joy to hear him and see him. If you haven't had the opportunity to hear him speak at an event,
he's inspirational.
Very inspirational.
They got a nice Tahoe there with the blue flashing lights. Next, Police Chief Billy Kelly from the Rockingham Police Department.
A lot of and here comes some of the favorite people here, Lee. We've got Mickey and Minnie Mouse, along with Winnie the Pooh, coming along today.
That is a beautiful Chevrolet truck. What is that, about a 30?
Older than me and you.
34. I think that's probably older than me.
Yeah,
probably older than you too, Mike.
Absolutely. Here comes Minnie Mouse.
There's Minnie.
Yeah.
And a beautiful orange GMC. That's what, about a late 60s truck there?
Yep, I would say so.
A lot of color in that truck, all orange.
And now Winnie the Pooh also coming by.
And that's a late 60s, early 70s blue truck, I believe, Mike. Next are representatives from the Richmond County Chamber of Commerce. Emily Tucker, the director, is in the Jeep there, throwing out candy and waving to everybody.
Yeah. our clerk of Superior Court, Miss Vicki Daniels.
Vicki Daniel.
is
Her
here
husband
today.
John driving that beautiful BMW convertible. Vicki in the back with her dog. I believe she won the dog show at the last year's Christmas on the Square.
I think Little Girl's her name.
Well, now that is that's an early 70s Mustang there.
It certainly is.
That's a boss to us, a 5.0 liter. That is the State Highway Patrol, local Highway State Patrol with a vintage Ford Mustang.
Next up, the Richmond Senior High School marching band with all their colors. Flags are red. Coming by to play some of your favorite Christmas music. Let's listen for a second. Getting prepared for what they do, and you can see them every Friday night at Raider Stadium at the halftime show and playing the pep music. Always good to have them to be a part of the festivities.
And I love their red hats with those green hats. Look very Christmassy. And now we have the Duck Express, the Santa Express really, from Peking Wok.
Yeah.
The Peking Wok Chinese buffet and takeout. And look at all the kids on that. They must have about 15 kids riding on the train there.
Got it loaded down. Now we have representatives from the Hive Recreation Center, home of Taekwondo. Have a lot of members in that group with us today, and I tell you, good-looking crowd there, Lee.
Decked out in their white and red, white, and blue uniforms. Got about 25, 30 strong there.
Next up, the Wildcats from Ellaby Middle School. Looks like the cheerleaders and some of their chaperones here today. Good to see the folks from Ellaby make their way down to Hamlet this afternoon.
They look cold. They got their hats on,
they are
their
cold.
gloves on, and they're kind of huddled up.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas, everybody. And also the cross-country team. They were conference champions, I believe.
They certainly
this
were.
Year. And they're showing their trophy, the whole cross-country team there.
They're going to stop and do a cheer for us, Lee. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Ellaby Wildcat cheerleaders, and they're, like you said, their cross-country team.
Conference champs. They got that big trophy. That trophy's almost as big as that young man who's carrying it, I do believe.
Awesome. Lee, you know, last year we had a chance at the coaches show to interview some of those folks, and glad to see them here today. Now, we also had the Richmond Senior High School cheerleaders. Their float is sponsored by Dr. Bill Cleveland, and they got a good-looking crowd of young ladies.
I saw the varsity and JV together, about 30 strong.
It certainly is. Merry Christmas.
I tell you, I'm still impressed by that. The Raider green I love, and you add the Santa hats to it. Looks great, Christmassy outfit.
Awesome. Meredith Hood and her assistants do a great job with those cheerleaders.
Mike, this is Joy Free Will Baptist Church with the manger scene. You can tell, go ahead and read what's on the float.
Absolutely. Jesus is the reason for the season. Again, we have Stan and Linda Jacobs on the back of the pickup truck. They're doing some singing, great Christmas music. Good to see them here this afternoon as well. And lead this next group up, and I don't know if me and you ought to try this or not, but it's Physical Awareness and Gymnastics of Hamlet. They're state, regional, and national champions from 2004 to 2015, and watching these kids come up this this main street here in Hamlet is phenomenal.
There was a time where I could do some of this, but right now I do more flopping than I would flipping.
I understand.
And I would hurt when I did it. So I'll just stay here and work with you this afternoon.
I understand, and I certainly do appreciate that. But they do a great job, very athletic, and wow, the flips, the cartwheels, and just very, very gymnastic type of group here. And it doesn't matter, Lee. They're from all sizes and ages, and they do a great job.
Yeah, you had two sons. I had a daughter, and my daughter actually took from Terry for about a year or two. And I believe this is a group that Ashton Locklear came out of. She was in this group early on in her life before she moved on to other things. But Terry was one of her mentors as she went on to be an Olympian coming out of this particular group.
Awesome. I think some more of that group participating. Like I said, they're starting it very youngly and going right on up in age. So good to see these kids. And you know, one thing about Ashton Locklear, she's made awareness to how far you can excel with good hard work doing this.
There's some small ones out there.
The next entry that we have is again that's the part of the physical awareness and gymnastics team. They have a nice Chevrolet truck sponsored by Diefenbach GM Superstore here in Rockingham.
I see a great big F on that next float. Wow.
I see one too. I think this may be the Tar Heel cheerleaders. It looks like it is for the Richmond Youth Program here. Good to see them here today. Wow, good looking group.
And they're doing a cheer as they go by.
Absolutely.
Next we have the Richmond County Hospice Incorporated. Do a great job and a great ministry in our community.
Absolutely.
Oh, almost got me a piece of candy.
Yeah, you just about got one. Next one is the Moore County Santees from the Shrine Club up in Moore County. And these little vintage, look like 8-model cars that they have are very popular at parades and events, and it's good to see them make their trek down to Hamlet today. About 5 or 6 of them here, and they always do a good job. And the Shriners, they do a great job as well, Lee, with the Shriners Hospital, I think down in Spartanburg, South Carolina. Right. They do so much for kids. I think burn facility they have down there is phenomenal, and glad to see those folks are here today, braving this cold weather and bringing those little Santees out.
And of course, connected to high school football with the Shrine Bowl they had every year to raise funds for the hospital.
That's exactly right, and Richmond, very blessed to have two of the Merry Christmas, sir. Very blessed to have 2 on that Shrine Bowl team from North Carolina. Carl Isaac and Stephen Jones will be on the Shrine Bowl team for the Tar Heels this year.
There is a mid-60s cream-colored Mustang with a 289 engine in it.
Yeah, this next group is going to be all vintage cars here. We've got several vintage cars here.
That's a mid-50s Chevrolet. And 2-door. We had a 4-door in 1954 that was blue. That's a beautiful green color.
That is a beautiful car.
That is a beautiful car there.
Yeah. Next is I think
now that's about as old as I am.
Absolutely.
And it looks it.
Yeah. Have a Dodge Plymouth Roadrunner next on the road this afternoon.
Got the 440 under the hood there. That thing will flat out move.
Absolutely. Ford Fairlane, I think, is what is next. First time I saw a Ford Fairlane, Lee, it was Fred Lorenzen was driving it at the North Carolina Speedway many years ago.
Fairlane 500 with a 289 also under the hood on that one.
Late model Ford pickup truck. Got some lovely ladies on the back here, Bruce and all those folks. Merry Christmas.
A Ford Custom.
Yep.
I thought like a Ford, is that 125 or 150? I couldn't read the numbers.
I think it's about a 125, sure is. Got a Pontiac Thunderbird next, followed by a Chevy SS Nova.
Oh man, that's one of those mid-70s Novas too.
Johnny Sinclair driving. Merry Christmas, sir. Driving his Chevrolet Nova. Have a late model Ford here, Lee.
That's a beautiful Ford Mustang.
Merry Christmas.
Bright red.
Yep. Other vintage cars still coming along the way here.
A nice Camaro there. V8 in it.
Yep. And a Boss
Wow.
Roush Ford Mustang.
Wow.
That's probably one of my dream cars right
Now
there.
that thing is just plumb decked out. Got a Roush Charger in it, a 427 engine.
Merry Christmas.
That thing looks right off the track, doesn't it?
Absolutely. Beautiful, beautiful vehicle. Next up, I believe we have Eagles football group coming. Nice looking group of young men and women. And I think they still may be another part of that Richmond youth program that they have here that supports football and basketball. The AAU programs around Richmond County.
They got Eagle Green, but it looks like Raider Green.
Yeah, just got some candy here too, man.
All right.
Good deal. All right. Next up is Captain D's, voted best seafood in Richmond County.
And Captain D himself is on the back of that truck.
Absolutely. Parade specials, fish and fry for $3.99. So make sure when you leave here today, go by Captain D's and pick up your fish and fry for $3.99.
A couple of custom lowrider trucks here. All decked out, flamed out. Looks like more like a table on wheels than a truck.
Absolutely. My biggest problem was be getting in there. Wouldn't be getting in, I could fall in, but getting out would be the problem.
Beautiful lime green.
They are beautiful.
SUV.
Yeah.
Deep purple. Look at the taillights on that thing.
Absolutely. Beautiful paint job.
Part of the, I guess, Richmond County lowrider.
Yeah. That's S10 pickup truck right there.
And that looks like an old farm truck there.
Yeah, sure does.
Custom 10 as far as the cab goes.
Next up is
number 40, it looks like. 43. 43, excuse me.
That may be Cascades, Lee. I see a lot of things being thrown out. Looks like paper towels and toilet paper being thrown out to all the folks on the side of the street.
How many Christmas parades have you been to they throw out toilet paper, Mike?
I got some last year. That's the Von Drell Corporation, Lee. I think I might have missed that, but it is Von Drell Corporation here today.
And a tree made out of toilet paper.
Absolutely, absolutely. That's exciting right there.
At least it won't hurt anybody when it hits them.
That's right. That's right. And now we see some of those vintage fire trucks coming down the road, Lee. A lot of our first responders bringing those here today. I think all of the fire departments in Richmond County will be represented. First we have the Hamlet Fire Department. Engine number 6. I tell you, we just can't say enough about our first responders, Lee. It's the putting their lives on the line each and every day.
That's got to be over at a 54 there, doesn't it?
Absolutely. That's Frank McKay driving that. I think that is the 54.
Yeah, that's 54.
I think you're right. The 54 Mac. Engine number 11 from the Hamlet Fire Department also here. Rockingham Fire Department, engine number 4 in the lineup. Have the privilege to work beside these guys each and every day.
There's Cordova, number 953, their fire and rescue. A couple of folks riding high on top of that.
Had the opportunity this past a couple months ago. Cordova Fire Department was celebrating their 60th anniversary in Richmond County, and we're glad to be able to go and be a part of that celebration.
Followed up by engine number 3 from the Ellerby Fire Department.
Northside Fire Department.
I believe they're broke ground on a new facility earlier this year.
They certainly are.
Got their water truck as well as a big fire truck.
More first responders coming by. Representative from First Health, I think that's Buddy Williams with the Richmond County
EMS system, yep. There is.
Buddy's a good friend of mine, him and his wife Rhonda. Good to see them here today.
Richmond County Volunteer Rescue Squad.
Still a lot of first responders coming by here. Rockingham Fire Department.
Now the East Rockingham Fire Department with Smokey.
A lot of first responders still coming by. Another group coming by.
That's Herald Office Solutions.
Herald Office Solutions. Good to see those folks. All right, Lee, we got another float coming by here. Looks like Vector Shirts is the ones who are on that float. It is. Beautiful float.
And on it are the Hamlet Middle School cheerleaders.
Absolutely. Merry Christmas.
Next up is entry number 31. That's the Rohannon cheerleaders.
Merry Christmas from the Rohannon Rebels. Had their cheerleaders on a little pull-behind trailer.
Next, Mike, we have entry number 23. That's the Supreme Filter Services Incorporated, and then one of their service trucks.
Yep. Followed by the Collared Man.
Now he has the Raider green and gold painted all over his truck.
Absolutely.
And he is pulling.
Absolutely. Thank you very much.
Pulling out a Cub Scout group right behind him.
He certainly is.
What did you just get?
We just got several rolls of toilet paper.
Oh, okay.
Had the Collared Man, Mr. Greg Shelley. He sits on the corner at Main Street or Highway 74 and 177. Has some of the best collards around.
And then Cub Scout Pack 527 pull behind the Collared Man.
Absolutely. Community Home Care and Hospice group coming by. They also have a float, and on their float, let's see if we can find out who's on that float, Lee. On Community Home Care. Good to see those folks here. Merry Christmas. I didn't see who was on there.
Let me get both my pages here. Hang on.
Yeah, I don't think it says it on there who was on that float, but good to see those folks here today. Another beautiful float coming up, Lee. That's Dance Sensations and Gymnastics. Miss Amy Quick and all her kiddos making their way here today. I tell you what, those folks do a great job. And
some of our instructors are also there.
Absolutely. Merry Christmas. Good to see all those folks here today as well. Now the Mud Princess, Miss Delaney Reap, sponsored by the Hamlet Lions Club. She's here today. Merry Christmas.
Mike, what's a Mud Princess?
I'm not exactly sure, but she sure is a pretty lady. I know that. Next up, the float from Cortec, as well as Seaboard Station Restaurant. Has a beautiful float in today, and on that, some more of the Dance Sensation students. Miss Amy Quick's Dance Sensation students on that float as well.
That's number 3, I believe. That's the Cowboy cheerleaders.
Yeah,
they're decked out in their blue and silver cowboy outfits.
Merry Christmas. Good to see all these young folks involved in all these different sporting events around the area.
And if you see cheerleaders in red and black in Richmond County, they must be coming from...
Well, that's the Wolfpack.
Oh, is that the Wolfpack?
Yeah, that's another part of the AAU
that's AAU
program.
You don't usually see, I don't think of state as having a lot of red and black.
Right. That's right. Another good-looking crowd. They're posing for the TV right
And they've
now.
actually got the team. Now, wait a minute. The cheerleaders having to walk with the team's on the float.
Yeah.
I'm not so sure about that.
I think there's too much energy on those cheerleaders to be sitting down and riding, to tell you the truth. That's a good-looking group of kids. Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas. Next up is entry number 37, and that may be the Rockingham Middle School cheerleaders. We'll see as they get a little bit closer. It is RMS cheerleaders. Beautiful Chevrolet pickup truck pulling their float. Happy holidays from Rockingham Middle School. Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas. Good to see them here today. Beautiful floats, a lot of detail put into these floats and these entries this year, Lee. Next up,
It says Champions in Motion.
And on that is the Champions in Motions are riding the float. Good to see all those folks. Merry Christmas.
Next we have a car in loving memory of D'Angelo DeWitt Dumas, with some people on motorcycles honoring Mr. Dumas.
Nice looking bikes.
Got trikes, bikes,
Yeah.
low riders. And one's even got a wreath on the back.
That's right.
And Cheryl just said she's going to ride hers next year in the parade.
There you go. I like the way you're thinking. Yep.
And there we have entry number 55. That's Hamlet Depot Museum and the National Railroad Museum Hall of Fame.
Riding on that float is the Monroe Avenue Elementary Chorus. See Chuck right in the middle of that. Must be the leader of that group. Good to see them. Sing us a song. Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas, sweetie.
Next we have number 35, Aaron's. That's the rental furniture place.
Yep.
And they're telling us happy holidays from Aaron's.
Backpack Pals.
One of the great organizations, truck being driven by Pastor Cruz.
It certainly is.
And I saw him at a function the other night, and I think they're feeding 500 kids a week.
Wow.
And in fact, he did an interview with Bob, I believe, last week, Mike.
Yeah. That's a great organization that does a lot of work. Have an entry here from Pizza Inn. And we also had the Pizza Inn mascot and a couple of nice ladies
Giving out coupons.
Pizza Inn, I love to eat there. Love their buffet. Penance Fire Extinguisher. They got an entry in. They got some folks on the back here. Let's see who they are. Don't see who that may be. But they're the Hurricanes in the youth program.
Oh, that's right. Hurricane cheerleaders.
Hurricane cheerleaders are riding that float.
Next we have the Alpha Mu Sorority and Southeastern Healthcare Services telling us season's greetings.
An Alpha Mu sorority queen and her court is on that float today. Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas. Good looking crowd.
I hear a bunch of whistles, but I'm not sure where this is coming from.
Girl
there.
Scouts of North Carolina on the next float. Troop number 543 here in Richmond County.
Oh, that's what's whistling. Okay.
Yeah. So they're blowing the whistles.
Having
Merry
a good
Christmas.
time doing it.
Yeah.
And they're going to be worn out by then. I'm afraid they keep blowing those whistles.
I know. They sure are. Lee, it's a beautiful afternoon here. A little overcast. The wind, fortunately, has laid down for the parade today. Next up, Bobby's Furniture, along with Grant's Express Tire and Auto. And on that float is the Second Baptist Christmas Academy, lifting up Jesus' loving children. Merry Christmas.
Next we have entry number 29, that's Zaxby's Chicken. And the Zaxby's Chicken is on the back of that truck with some other kids, and they're throwing out Frisbees.
Absolutely.
Frisbees from Zaxby's. How about that?
Yeah, I got one. Merry Christmas.
You're pretty good. You can talk and do something else at the same time there, Mike. You caught that Frisbee.
I'm amphibious. Not ambidextrous, amphibious.
Enter entry number 40, Big Rock Sports. Mike, who's on that float?
Looks like the Big Rock employees will also be on this float as well. And yeah, just good to see all those folks here. Big Rock Sports is a new addition in the last couple of years to Richmond County, and they employ a lot of people. It's good to see them here today as well.
Next, we have another one of our beauty ladies. That's Miss Forever Excellent Teen 2017, Manasia Kearns.
Absolutely. Beautiful young lady. Riding on a very pretty car, too. I think that's a Chrysler.
Chrysler 300, I think.
Chrysler 300, it certainly is.
To make sure I didn't see the tag on that.
You're right. Exactly.
Next, exit number 36. This is the Richmond Early College Student Government. And there's your student government folks riding on that float.
Yeah, Chris is driving.
Oh, was he?
Yes.
Okay.
Chris Larson was driving that vehicle. Cricket Wireless in today. Good to see them here as well.
Fuzzy Creatures on the window there.
Yeah. Unique Auto Sales. And they also have a website if you want to check them out. UniqueAutosNC.com. Parade continues here from Hamlet, North Carolina, Main Street. A lot of entries this year. I didn't count up how many of the entries that they had this year, Lee, but it's going to be up close to 100 entries, I think it's going to, by the end of the day. With all
Mike, this is Hamlet Senior Center. Who's on that float?
Let's see here, Lee.
Seniors, I'll bet.
I believe it's the seniors from the Hamlet Senior Center. Merry Christmas.
Our next entry is a car from McNeil Funerals in Rockingham. That's 997-4638, McNeil Funerals.
Another float coming up with a lot of pretty young ladies on it. Bold Moves Dance Company, located, I think they just opened up a new facility in downtown Rockingham with some of their folks on that float as well. The students from Bold Moves Dance Company here today. Merry Christmas. So many opportunities in Richmond County for these young people, Lee. Pruitt Health.
Pruitt Health and their big health van.
I see those vans at some of the offices that I work with, Lee. They deliver, take patients back and forth, help them with their appointments and stuff. Next, we have Richmond Jammers Basketball Club, another AAU program here in Richmond County, giving these young people an opportunity to further their coaching and further their abilities on the court. Good to see those folks here again today.
And it's a parade. What would a parade be without cotton candy and some peanuts and some popcorn and some of those novelties you don't need, but you want to get a few, and the kids just have to have them.
Well, it goes along with the season, Lee.
Kind of goes along with the season, doesn't it? And we like our friends at Kona Ice a lot, but on this 45-degree day, it would not be. Who was it? Mitch was saying we need that Kona Ice hot chocolate.
Yes, we do. Yes, we do. Another group coming up the road here.
And that's number 2 on our list.
I think that may be the Cascades group. Yes, it is. And they're passing out paper towels and also toilet paper as well.
Now that's a problem to have, because the paper towels come in these big cardboard boxes.
Yeah.
And when they're done, what do you do with them?
That's right. That's right. This is a big industry in Richmond County, Lee. I don't know, a lot of folks may not know exactly what all they do, but they have expanded their facilities as well down into the Hope County area.
Lots of jobs.
As well.
Lots of jobs.
Thank you. We're just racking up with all kind of stuff here today.
Well, you got a stage up here. We can kind of collect.
That's right. That's right. I'm hoarding up the candy on this
they
side
got kids,
of it here.
Kids getting crushed by toilet paper. That's terrible.
Bring them on. Bring them on. Thank you so much. Merry Christmas.
Thank you.
Merry Christmas.
Another vehicle by Unique Auto Sales, and they're also pulling a trailer. Let's see who's on the trailer here. That's number 12. That's actually Girl Scout Troop 1680.
Yep. Following them is the Blended Blessings Resale Store, 404 East Broad Avenue in Rockingham. And on that float is it's just representatives of the Blended Blessings resale store. Merry Christmas. And they have a minion on the back of that float as well. I think this next one is a representative of the
I think that's Purple Hearts.
Purple Hearts of North Carolina.
Some of the heroes.
It certainly is. Good to have them. Merry Christmas. Thank you for your service. Next up is the Mabry's Drug Store and Home Care float.
And on that float are employees of Mabry's Drugs and their families.
Absolutely.
Got some of their equipment, the walkers and various things that you can get at Mabry's Drugs are displayed on the float also.
Very nice group of folks to work with, Lee. We've, as we tend to get a little bit older, we call on these folks a little bit more, and they're always right there with everything that you need. So good to have Mabry's here in Richmond County. I think they have a location also in Southern Pines as well as Richmond County, and maybe another one or two around the area. Merry Christmas. Thank you. God bless you. Beautiful, beautiful floats. And Merry Christmas.
And Mike, coming up next is Second Baptist Christian Academy, excuse me.
Right. And some of their students are on that float as well.
Okay.
A lot of folks on the side of the street today, Lee. It's good crowd here today. Weather's a little bit chilly, but a good crowd today. But from what I understand, the chilly weather hasn't gotten here. I think it's really going to get cold more toward the weekend, Lee.
Now, you're not talking about chilly, you're talking about just plain cold.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas, y'all.
Good looking crowd of young folks there.
A string of floats here. The next float is Richmond Pines Healthcare and Rehab.
Yep.
On that float, let's see.
Employees and residents are riding.
Oh, wow.
So they brought some of their residents here with them today.
They sure did.
Yep.
Got them wrapped up good.
Yep.
A treat for them to get out.
Absolutely.
And see folks. And
be a part
say hello to them.
Be a part of this parade. It sure is. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas, y'all.
Those folks took care of my mother when she was had to be admitted down there, Lee. Very special group of people.
This is next float, number 51, the Richmond Community College Student Government Association, decked out in their Richmond Community College sweatshirts.
I tell you, Richmond Community College is one of the fastest growing community colleges in the state of North Carolina. Outstanding opportunities there to go and get a great education.
I don't know where they got those hats, but I don't need to go there.
No.
Great poinsettia. On the back there with some candles and Christmas trees. And next we have the float from Oz Queen CPA and WLWL radio station.
Yeah.
And on that,
Gary Smith is on there. I see Gary.
We have the Ellerby Middle School Band also.
Yep, certainly.
And there's DJ. Yep, Gary's up there.
Gary's up there, one of the icons in Richmond County as far as beach music goes.
Knows beach music and always does a great job with it.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Good to see those folks be here today and be a part of the celebration here in Hamlet. And last but not least, Lee, entry number 57. And guess who that is? That's the big guy himself,
that is
Santa.
Sandhills Regional Medical Center, and on that float, like you said, are Comet and Blitzer and Comet and Dixon, and I don't know all the 8 right now.
I can sing the song.
and Mr. and Mrs. Claus.
It certainly is. So, folks, I'll tell you what, it's been a beautiful day here, and good to see this float wrap up here at Sandhills Regional Medical Center, along with the Santa Claus float as well. So, Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas. Good to see all those folks. So I tell you what, it's a beautiful day, Lee. Good to see all these folks here. But that's going to conclude the Hamlet Christmas Parade. And again, you can see this on YouTube. It will be broadcast, I guess, in a couple of days. Just keep checking on your YouTube app or on your computer. And I think just go to YouTube and pull up Hamlet Christmas Parade 2016, and you'll be able to view it here today as well. So a beautiful parade. A lot of folks showed up, Lee. Been fun sharing this past about 45 minutes with you. And, I just want to take this opportunity, since we're not doing football, with Christmas just a couple of weeks away, I just want to wish everyone a merry and blessed Christmas and a safe Christmas, and just take the time to spend time with your family and friends, and just share the love of Christ with all that you meet this Christmas season as we celebrate Jesus' birthday.
Yeah, the most important event in human history happened about 2,000 years ago.
Yes, it did.
And we lose that in all the other things we do. I do, you do. We're Christians, and we do the stuff at church, and we take time to worship and practice our faith, but we still get lost in the shuffle and everything else. But try when you can, with your family, with your friends, and when you're just by yourself with the Lord, focus on the real meaning of Christmas and the miracle it has become in our lives for those of us that are people of faith.
Absolutely. I want to thank the city of Hamlet for allowing us to be here today and being a part of this festive activities. And again, for all of us here at G104, for Lee, for Mike, for Cheryl, for all of us from G104 FM, have a Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
God bless.